Agric with me, Tofashake. I'm the founder and CEO of Agric Farms and Life Services Limited. I also co-founded Agric Foods Limited as well. Agric Foods is an innovative indigenous company. We're into processing and packaging of indigenous food items. So the way the sector is painted, it's been painted as if agriculture is for those who don't have what to do in life. The sector is so vast. They think that the sector is for dirty people. The sector is for people who doesn't know have value for life. But it's beyond that. I just said that food is a universal resource for life. You can't do without food. Agriculture appeals to every cadre of society. So it's a sector that, in fact, if the sector performs optimally, it can accommodate both the skilled and unskilled. Everybody can function in the ecosystem. So it's because of the fact that people now perceive the sector as a sector that is for people who are lazy people. But it's not. Do I look like someone who's lazy?
No, sir.
I'm sexy.
Yes, you are.
Fake stories. Write about new stories. Not fabricated stories. Not stories of 300,000 naira. Make 20 billion. No. Am I communicating? I'm saying stories that will make this sector attractive. I'm also looking forward to a day that filmmakers will tell the real story of this sector.
I think young people like things that are exciting. And so we're trying to make agriculture a very exciting now, or funky as it is, so that people can be willing to come in. I mean, the young people can be willing to come into agriculture. So I think the major problem is young people need to see that there's money in agri. We need to show them where the money is in agriculture. Number two, we must make it as interesting as possible. So, that's number two. Number three is that we must make all the facilities available, like light, like land, seed, training. All these aspects must be available for young people to be able to want to go.
Now, this is the issue. The average age of the farmer today in Nigeria is about 60 years. Add 40 years to your age. What it simply means is Nigeria has to make a decision. Do we want to become a welfare, a free, hungry nation, or a welfare slave? What is welfare slave? We eat, but other nations are feeding us. Or we are free as a nation, we are not a slave to anybody, but we are hungry. Because the farmers today in another 30 years will be too old to produce. And the young people are not interested in agri. You cannot tell a young person that is a graduate to go and take hold and cutlass. It is wrong. Two, it is not okay to go on TV to advertise that people should come into farming. Nobody advertised oil and gas. Nobody advertised banking sector.
Yeah, I'm from a Samson of Wale team lead soilless from now.
The reason is simple because number one, they see agriculture as that place where poverty resides. So there is this bad branding and imagery around Agric. When you go online and you check a farmer, the picture of the farmer you see is a guy with the tattered clothes. And this has dissuaded a lot of young people from coming into agriculture on one part. Number two is the fact that most of them think that, you need to become a farmer, you need to be a farmer to be in agri. They do not even know that agriculture has a whole lot of value chain where they can plug into different aspects. So there is no knowledge, they don't have the capital, and the image is bad.
My name is Babatunde Ajayi, and I head SME banking for UBA Group. That's United Bank for Africa Group.
We want to, from your assessments, how do you think the agri sector has grown over the last 5 years?
The awareness about the value locked within that sector in the past 5 years has grown, and therefore that has led to the attention given to it growing, and the people moving into it also growing. And I believe the production, the output from that area is also growing. And what is very interesting is that now agric sector is becoming attractive to young entrepreneurs. It used to be dominated by the elderly, yes, but now we have the privilege to have the young ones coming in and even bringing innovation into the sector. And I believe this is just the beginning. I know it's going to grow very fast, and I believe I look at the country, and I believe that within the next 10 years, we should have our food security. We should be self-sufficient in most of the food products, food items we import. We should be able to do them, plant them here, and get them ready. Okay. Now with the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement that we have, partnership, we have $6 billion partnership. We have, especially the one focused on the agro processing. I believe that that big elephant has come out to work with the players within the sector, and the opportunity is there, and we are ready. If United Bank for Africa on its own has said, okay, I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and he has brought out $6 billion across 20 countries in Africa to drive that. Just know that this is a new season, a new time for new beginning, and the banks are on board, especially UBA is on board to drive value within that sector.
Bishop Enobongete, the Bishop over Salem International Christian Center, Lagos. In the next 10 years, I see Nigeria as becoming a net exporter of agricultural products. If we are consistent, if we have the right policies, we have the right drivers, and the people are ready to embrace agriculture. Like one of the speakers said today, that when you have the bulk of the population into agriculture, it means we are still at the sedentary level. It means, but when technology is introduced into it, then we are ready to take over the world. Considering the sheer size of arable land in Nigeria, and with technology in agriculture, as we have learned today, Nigeria should be a net exporter of agricultural products. One takeaway from this conference is that we should not export raw materials from Nigeria, but rather process food from Nigeria. That's when we're going to earn more. Look, I can tell you this. The cocoa, for instance, those foreign companies come and buy cocoa as raw material. And one of the byproducts, just one of the myriads of the byproducts, cover the cost of the raw material. The same thing happens with crude oil. Just one of the byproducts cover the entire cost of crude oil. So it is a curse on Africa that we are exporting raw materials. It is a curse, and that trend must stop. And this is why we do not want to be part of those who complain, but part of those who make a difference. So this conference is actually also organized in furtherance of making a difference in that sector.
I'll be very positive. I'm praying to see this sector is not that we are capable to feed ourselves, we are capable to lead Africa in terms of industrialization. There are so many engagements going on, and we are praying to government, and I'm also privileged to be a private stakeholder to do my own capacity, and that's one of the reasons why this program is put in place. We want to contribute our own part to make sure that the ecosystems function. So I'm looking forward to a way that Nigeria will lead the food system in Africa, and it should start between me and you, and like this program is on board. So I'm looking forward to Nigeria leading the ecosystem. So I'm very positive. I don't want to talk about yes, we have our own the bad side, negative part of it, but I don't want to focus on that now because I'm a solution provider. So I want to look forward to that solution.
Well, if we continue to put the kind of energy we are putting in now, I think in the next 10 years, Nigeria should be able to feed itself.
Amen.
If we continue to put this effort and continue to increase the effort and get more young people into the agri-food, then we should be able to start feeding, be able to be food sufficient by 10 years.
Agriculture will be where we want to be in the next 10 years. It's that simple.
So you're not making any products?
No, because where we want to be, agriculture is not something outside of people. So where we want to be, if everybody decides to japa, Agric will japa. So it's here we want to be.
Thank you very much, sir. With everything you've heard now,
Yeah.
are you looking into investing in agriculture?
Investing, I'm already into in agriculture right now.
Oh, that's
in
nice.
spirit, and it's about to manifest in the physical. Yes, because I've actually gained a lot here, which my books is actually the missing gaps that I actually needed. I've actually been able to acquire and fill in the gaps and know the right steps to take right now and the sources I have to go to say, okay, like they talk about the women funding and other some grants that people are giving, so many things like that. So I know who to go to, how to approach, and how to prepare myself, the proposal, and what actually is going to entail to submit to be able to get some input.
Oh, that's great. So we look forward to seeing more of you in the agri
Yes,
space.
see me very soon.
With the eye-opening comments that I have heard today, I will start immediately, even if it's to start small.
And I, for one, know that agriculture is very lucrative. And trust me, if I hadn't ventured into maybe civil engineering or other sectors, and if by God's grace tomorrow God leads my step, I'll still venture into agriculture.
God introduced man to agriculture. Immediately man was created. So it means that agriculture is the lifestyle of every man. And so I came here with an intention to learn something, and not just learning it, but to practicalize it. Because we have been taught a lot of things about agriculture, but it doesn't end there. It is actually when you have applied it that what you have learned makes sense and will be profiting not just to you alone, but to those who are around your environment.
I think one of the major things they discussed today is soilless farming. Soilless farming does not mean that you don't even need to be in the bush before you do agriculture. And I think one of the major reasons why our youth today are not taking interest in agriculture is because they feel that somebody who is into agriculture is a poor person. But with this empowerment today, with this lecture, with this lectures today, we are meant to understand that you can also do agriculture while you stay at home. That's if you engage in soilless farming, which is very, very good and is a modern way of farming.
What needs to change is the tool of agriculture. Any nation that has a majority of the population in agri will be poor. The reason is simple, because it means you are using human power instead of technology. And the only way to bring youth into agriculture is technology. Full stop. Thank you.
Do you think the sector itself, do you think it needs more government involvement, or do you think it needs more individual or private sector involvement?
So we need everybody. It needs to be a public-private partnership. Everybody needs to do their own to help the ecosystem. The food ecosystem needs everybody to play their active role. Government needs to de-risk this sector. We need to, the sector is very complex. So government needs to, to remove this volatility. The private also need to lead from the front. They need to lead this. Government have no business in business, but government can create an enabling environment where the investor can now play the active role. So everybody need to work hand in hand. We need this kind of synergy, this kind of collaborative effort where we are able to help the food system to really thrive. Everybody need to play. You can't take it because there are so many policies. There are the policies that is working from the back. That a lot of policies somersault. And so if government do what they have to do, create that enabling environment, provide the incentive, de-risk the sector, private organization will work, so everybody will work together.
We need both. We need government to intervene. We also need big individuals to also come into agriculture. Agriculture is large. Like we have 200 million people. To feed 200 million people is not a joke, and we are still increasing by the day. So we need government intervention in terms of reduced levies, level playground, and incentive. We need individuals to come in also to do it on big scale. So we need both small scale and big scale. It's both big and small scale combined that can feed 200 million people.